Hi everyone, please spot plus if you hear me well. Hi Copperwood Jr. I remember you from the Russian speaking community from previous streams. I'm really happy to see you here again. So let's check the sound and we are getting started. Today as usual we will try to find some setups and work them out. The market is gonna be active because here we have some news about new home sales. It's quite important news. It's positive now, as you see, higher than expected, 40k higher than it was expected. The prediction, the forecast was 600k. Let's watch what is happening. We usually use investing. It's extremely important to start your training session from fundamental aspects. We usually check some news on investing. It's extremely important to make it to see all these aspects in advance, because if there are some important news that can cause turbulence, the volatility rises and all your analysis goes down the drain if you didn't check it in advance. So we should be ready and close all the positions before the release of very important news. The quite interesting fact that for the recent several days all their news are quite positive, including the recent US GDP release. For today, all the news left are not quite important, especially for crypto market. All the most important news have already been released, and most of them are positive, at least except I think the Spanish GDP 0.1%, minus 0.1%, and we are getting started. Another interesting fact that quite positive outcomes, including the recent US GDP release. Let's hope that gonna be at least local recovery. And let's look at the BTC. There wasn't positive reaction on positive US GDP results. It seems like crypto is becoming less and less pegged to external factors and more react to internal ones. I mean, liquidity crisis of crypto exchanges. But we are scalpers, finally. We don't care where crypto is going. So in addition to our today trading, we will talk about some scalping tips to enhance your trading quality. So we will talk about spoofers. It's extremely important. Please don't remember to ask your questions. And from the very beginning, I would like to recommend you, as usual, to subscribe for crypto chat, English chat, or the CScalp, because it's quite really useful and of great interest, because as for me, I really use this tool instead of different screeners, because here are some professional traders publishing their thoughts about the market, and only in case I really share all the thoughts of author of the over signals or single signal, I really work it out. So let's start from the BTC. Now it's inside the consolidation. There are two main scenarios, and it depends on the internal crypto factors and external. At least external are quite stable and positive at the moment. we are waiting for some other speeches of head of the Federal Reserve System. This is the most important news affecting the crypto. And now I'm waiting for the Sol USDT short. As you see, there are some clusters that are pressing on the price. I really perceive this area as a strong local resistance with the pressure downside. And look at this, we have red clusters. It means that sellers are prevailing. On the background of quite positive news about home sales, however, I think it doesn't matter for crypto, but it may hinder, it may spoil some active pressure of sellers. However, let's try to open short in advance here just for the first very small volume. I mean just 50 lots. It's about, I think it's about $500, the very first leverage. Don't forget to ask your questions, because every time we organize a live trading stream, we are gonna give feedback to you to answer all your questions, to enhance your trading quality. So don't be shy. About other situations, really good setups. I really I'm waiting for some another setups. All of them are mostly shorts, including people. However, there are quite long way down to this level, 26%. However, I'm sure that this level will be actively broken. GMT, the same, but much closer to this level, 5%. I really recommend you placing all these setups, all this situation on your working space with the preliminary placing of alarm levels. If you don't know how, you just simultaneously press key. First you press key and the left button mouse. Another quite interesting situation, NKN. I really love it. However, there are some strange movements here. I really think that there are some spoofers. That's why I'm gonna talk to you about this today. Such limit orders of huge players are quite obvious, and they are quite dangerous. They are obvious because of the aim of this obvious placement of limit orders is to spoof crowd, is to manipulate crowd, because just to extract the advantage from this. I think what is the mechanics of such spoofing? Look at this. Here we have, for example, quite obvious and really big and stable limit orders, and most participants will perceive this as a shelter for their stop losses. People will probably try to long from that point, just placing the stop losses below these limit orders. There will be much stop losses because most participants are amateurs, they are beginners, and they are unexperienced ones. They will be for sure think that there is about to break the price is about to break the upper side of this triangle and go long. However, uh, if we are talking about the spoofer, the big player, it's absolutely useless and irrational for him to load uh, such in such an open manner, just showing everyone, hey guys, I am loading here long from my just open long position from my limit orders. Because frankly speaking, when a huge player is loading his position, he's doing it silently and absolutely um, uh, he, uh, he tries to hinder, to hide all these limit orders with small volumes here. That's how it works. But when it places really big and quite obvious and very attractive limit orders, it more looks like spoofering. How it works? Many people will open long positions from here, uh, placing limit or placing stop losses here, and then uh, when the critical mass of stop losses here will be enough, a spoofer just cancel all these limit orders and open big short position, reversing the price to another side. The price is accelerating through execution of all these limit orders. It looks like that. Boom. And all these people, uh, their stop losses were haunted here. All this movement provoked by the cascade execution of these limit orders. And that's why the spoofer doing this just to win this potential and to starting to close to fix his position here. So we should be very attentive, and we should always keep an eye on whether all these limit orders are logical here from the side of a huge player or not. If no, we shouldn't participate in such a trade. So after some trades, if there are, if we manage to trade something, I will show you some videos about this topic. It should be interesting and quite useful, I think. I was stopped by Sol USDT, so let's wait for another chance to re-enter. There is still, as you see, according to clusters, there is a great struggle between buyers and sellers. However, I believe that sellers are gaining momentum because of, first of all, because most participants are really considering this pattern as the breakout of short breakout of this local support, and the real advantage of crypto trading is that the more obvious pattern is, the more participants will try to work it out. However, along this fact, the more it is obvious, the higher probability of different manipulations and so on. So we should be very attentively. So be active, please. I'm here to answer your questions, not only to trade, but answer all your questions. The second scenario, if for example the BTC, if the BTC shows quite a long movement, quite sharp and very active approach to higher level of this consolidation, I mean the resistance, I think that some altcoins will probably follow, and in this case we will be searching for the point to break the slope, this slope. I really like the break of slope because according to different types of level breakouts, we have at least three types of breakouts. The breakout of slope, as you know, when we break the slope like that, the breakout of the horizontal level like that, and the breakout of the triangle. From all these types of breakout, I really prefer the breakout of slope. And the horizontal level is working out less effective at such a current stage of market because of higher level of fear, higher level of uncertainty, because people participating in breakout, they are fixing the position too early. That's why there is no continuation, no long continuation of the movement. All these movements are very short and extremely greedy. But when we are talking about the breakout of the slope, it usually works out extremely well because there are much more obvious stop losses. The real pool of stop losses that usually being broken in a cascade character. That's why I more prefer the breakout of slope. Very informative, thanks. Thank you for your activity, Valeria. So let's try to find something else. GMT is another story, about 5% weight, quite long and exhaustive. NKN really looks well, however, despite the fact that I was talking about namely spoofers, it really lacks activity. It really lacks activity because on this stage of formation of this pattern, it should be much more active. Because if there are no any activity on this, if there is no any activity on this stage, there are really great doubts about the consistency of the breakout, the success of this breakout. This is the factor that usually lowers the probability of quite good breakout. Waves finally, the same story, it's inside the consolidation, and the consolidation is looking really a classic consolidation where we see the signs, the paths of algorithms, and this algorithm, let's see, it's on their futures. The algorithm is look like, now I will show you. Just look at these long shadows. These long shadows are looking like they look like the attempts to grab the liquidity. All these movements are made by special algorithms, special bots, when during this movement the huge player, huge seller is loading his position, However, when we are loading position for short, we're really interested to load most of our position as much as high, because higher are the more attractive prices for long, for short. Sorry, we will have much more potential and much more uh, difference between our entry point and our average entry point and our point of fixation. Look at this. We have several ways where this participants is loading. Each time he needs much more attractive prices, the algorithm turns on, and we have quite drastic and sharp shadows here just to grab the liquidity of those who are shorting. This is the really effective way for a huge player to grab huge limit orders, huge piles of stop losses, sorry, that are being placed by sellers, small sellers, and grabbing these stop losses by a very sharp price increase done by algorithm, bot, or spoofering usually helps a really huge player to load the position in full extent. That's why all these small elements, all these aspects really show us that we should perceive this movement as the loading process of really huge player. So that's why we should be on the one boat with him, not we shouldn't play against. That's why we should find the entry point. It would be better if we manage to find the entry point for early loading, because there are almost 10% before it's broken. And I'm sure there will be very good movement. At least look at these volumes. They are really high. It indicates that there is a high interest to the current stage of the price, and there is a high interest towards the instruments at the current stage. So let's find something else. Finally, we can always see the most active instruments in CryptoBubble's website, and it really looks horrible. As you see, the market is really falling down, and I don't know, I'm not sure that I think that 2023 will be the real crisis year. But anyway, we will have to adjust our trading system, adjust our strategies to such a market. Anyway, we are scalpers, and I'm sure everything will be okay. There will be much more possibilities to earn really good profit. Please write in the comments your setups, what you wanna observe, or maybe you want to give a feedback, some comments about the setups on the instruments you chosen. If not, let's switch to another part. I promised you to show you some traits and some cases of spoofing. It's extremely important. Let me show you, because there are no much activities, there are no much really good situations. Look at this. That what I was talking about. Here we see, for example, the BTC, the breakout of quite strong level. Then it's gonna retest this level. Here we see another. This is a 1 hour time frame. Here we see quite small but quite strong local zone. So we have two quite important factors that at this point the probability of reverse towards the continuation of this movement is quite high, because there was a quite strong level and zone here that will be protected. And here I'm providing the example of how spoofers usually act. They, for example, really need to load huge position here to continue all this movement and fix their position somewhere here. Let's say 18,800. So each spoofer could for example, use his own margin of huge capital to spoof people, to manipulate and so on, or using special algorithm. But the first option is more probable. So it's start placing limit orders in very illogical and very strange manner. For example, here all the professional traders, after analyzing this situation, they understand that the probability of the pullback is very high, and the huge capitals will be reluctant to short here, because here we have extremely strong level from where a huge purchases will be conducted, will be held. So the most strange thing that huge players started to place limit orders like that, and most people, most beginners, and 90% of market participants who are, or maybe 80% who are inexperienced ones, they are really perceive this situation as very reliable moment to short, because the spoofer tries to show all the crowd, hey guys, just open short position from my limit orders, they are reliable ones, you can hide your stop losses behind above this limit order. And people believe, most people really, the crowd are easily manipulated. They started to short from this limit order, placing their stop losses above this zone like that. They are placing stop losses, and the critical mass of stop losses creates the liquidity pool, very tasty and interesting for spoofer. So let's look what's happening then. People keep shorting, they really affect the price going down, and then when a spoofer really believes that that's enough, he cancels all these limit orders and make a huge purchase by the market, reversing the price. Other participants who are more or less experienced, they are participating in this event as well, and all this mass of huge capital pushing the price higher, and the price starts to execute all these limit orders that were placed by those deceived people, and there is the cascade activation of these limit orders and the real great impulse. So that's how the spoofer or huge player use the crowd to his advantage, just manipulating. Let's see the example. Look at this. Here we had the Sol USDT after very great moment on the market. It was quite a negative stage, and the negative news about the Sol were published. And look at this. There was quite obvious that the sellers started to gaining momentum. They were extremely high sales volumes. There was obvious pressure of sellers. There was the downtrend movement, as you see here. There was the real dump started somewhere here, and it was really stupid just to trying to stop this movement or to reverse this movement. And moreover, every huge player really understands this situation, and each huge player will never try to reverse, to absorb all this seller's power just to reverse the movement. It's very strange. And what do we see? Sorry. And what do we see? We see the huge player limit order here in very irrational and very strange place. Here, as you see. What is the mechanics? As I already explained, let's imagine that many people see this and they really think that, oh, there is a bottom. Let's try to catch a knife. Let's try to long from these limit orders, placing stop losses behind this limit order. It will be the real reliable shelter for our stop loss. And there are many people, there are many participants who really do this. What we see next? The limit order is cancelled, and we see the drastic impulse. The impulse on which the huge amount of stop losses are being executed, and all these participants are being stopped. Stop loss hit execution. And what I would like to say to you that you should be very attentive. You should keep an eye on the place where all these limit orders are situated, are placed, because all these limit orders should be placed in very logical way. Just to understand the huge player, you should think like a huge player. I would show you another one video. No, it's another video. Just a moment. For example, here we have another situation when while loading, we see that the huge player is hiding. He's hiding, but I noticed that this is the iceberg limit order. It means that this 25,000 is an average volume of limit order, but this 25,000 thousands are being renewed, systematically renewed, and following the spread under the price. In this way, a huge player is trying to hide his intentions, but we are the experienced ones. We see here, and in this case, we see that in this case, huge player is loading position, not spoofing. He's really loading because he don't want to show all the participants his intention and the whole position of limit order. It's only 25 key, but these 25 thousands were renewed about 100 times. So it was 25 millions lots. So I will show you. That was the result. Here there was the loading, and here there was my take profit. So I was loading along with the huge limit order, huge participants. That was the whole movement. I will show you. Here we noticed this huge player, and here I stopped. I placed the take profit, and the take profit hit was at night. I was sleeping. That was the movement with the short, with the huge player, and even though the huge player started to load his position. I don't remember what was the final outcome, but it was something like that, and the price went up for very admirable number of percent. That's how it works. So we have 2 minutes left. Please, now we have 40-minute streams, but more intense. Please ask your questions, because I really don't see anything to trade. Even the BTC is not so active as usual. I really recommend you to watch SolUSDT and NKN. NKN is going to break the level. However, it really lacks. It's too inactive for the really good breakout. I would probably miss this situation. So I will be finishing today's stream. I think it was of great use for you. So see you next time. Stay in profit and adhere to your risk management.